welcome again to realestateinvestormachine.com or rei.tv, rei-something-tv.com. I'm Nick. It's good to have you here today. Thanks for joining me. Today we're talking about sales. We're talking about selling. Believe it or not, you are a salesman. I know that might seem kind of shocking to you, but let's face it, we're really all in sales one way or another, aren't we? I know when you were a little kid, you didn't dress up on Halloween and put on the little hat and a little snug tie and grab your briefcase and go trick-or-treating as a salesman. But let's face it, like I said, we're all in sales. You learned how to sell as a child, as a matter of fact. You did your first selling jobs, although you didn't know it, when you wanted that lollipop from the store when you went shopping with mom, or when you wanted dad to give you that piggyback ride. No matter what it was, you've been in sales since you were old enough to walk. Now it's just a matter of learning how to do it effectively. Something I want to mention, as a real estate professional, we're always selling, as is everybody. We're selling when we're buying, we're selling when we're selling, we're selling when we're negotiating contracts with our vendors, and when we're buying signs and whatever it is. So you got to remember that. Don't be negative about it. Selling is not trying to convince somebody to buy something they don't want. So many people, that's the impression they get of selling, is that hard-driving telemarketer trying to talk you to whip out that credit card. Or that guy that knocks on your front door and sticks his foot in the door, or wants to come in and throw dirt on your carpet and then vacuum it up. But in any case, it's not talking somebody into buying something that they don't want. Selling is helping them make a decision to get something they kind of want already, but they're just apprehensive of. So many people, they need permission. They need you to give them permission to buy something, to buy that house, or to sign that contract, or whatever it is. So selling really isn't trying to convince somebody to do something they don't want to do. It's trying to give them permission and reinforce with them that it is the right thing to do. One of the things I tell my project managers that work for me in the field is you can't talk somebody into buying a house. You really can't. Well, some things you can talk people into, but a house is such a personal thing. They walk in, they look around, and either it's got it or it doesn't. You can sell somebody a house for such a steal, and if they don't like it, they just don't feel warm and comfy and all, warm fuzzy there, they're not going to take it. So you got to learn to use the right techniques, though. So I'm going to give you some techniques that are going to help you help them make that decision. Now, one of them is fear of loss. There's two different reasons that people take action. One is fear of loss. They're afraid they're going to lose something. And the other is hope of gain. So you want to make it evident when you're negotiating with your sellers and with your buyers that either they're going to lose something if they don't follow the path, or they're going to gain something. So we're going to talk about the fear of loss first. You want to give the impression to your sellers that they're going to lose you as a buyer if they don't work with you. You want to give the impression to your buyers who are buying homes from you that they're going to lose your home. They're going to lose that home if they don't take action with you. And also, you can use the same type of thing when you're buying bandit signs, when you're negotiating with a mailing house to do your mailings, when you're getting a real estate website. Everything is negotiable. Remember that. Everything is negotiable. In this country, and I'm getting on a tangent here, but in this country, when we go to the store, we buy the price that's on it. Whatever the sticker says, that's typically how much we pay. I know with cars and stuff we don't. But you'd really be surprised how often you might be able to get a deal at different stores just by asking for it. In other countries, everything's negotiable. I went to Hong Kong, and we were on the airplane. I read something in the newspaper, not the newspaper, the little flyer brochure. It said, if you pay somebody the price that's marked on the product at a store, and this is just a retail store, like going to, Best Buy, but if you pay somebody the price that's marked on the store, they're going to have a good laugh with you, with their family over dinner that night. So everything's negotiable. Make them be afraid, and I told you I was getting off on a tangent, so at least I warned you, right? Anyway, so you have to give the impression to people that they're going to lose something if they don't do business with you. Whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's that beautiful house, whether it's that pool in the yard. So some examples, like when you're talking to a seller, is, Mr. Seller, that's the best we can do, but we can do it quickly if it's something you're willing to do. And that quickly part, what are they losing? They're losing time. And in real estate, time means money. So you want to give the impression to these people that by not doing business with you, they're going to lose something. Another one is greed. People are inherently greedy. So, like before I talked about fear of loss, greed really more or less goes with the hope of gain. You want to show these people that they're making money by doing business with you. Whether it's, you give the impression you're giving them the best offer they're going to get on a property, or if you do give them the best offer, sometimes we can be creative. We can pay more than the other guy's offer, but ask for a little bit better terms. But most people think dollars and cents. So you want to show them the money that they're making or the money that they're losing by not doing business with you when you're buying. And when you're selling, you want to show that seller, Mr. Seller, I know I'm offering you a little bit less than that other offer or than you'd like, that would have taken the other offer. But I know I'm offering you a little bit less than what you would like. But here's the money that you're saving by taking me up on this offer. And then on one of the shows I'll show you the whole project where you and most of you probably know how to do this, but where you show the seller how much the real cost is and how much they're actually going to get by the time they pay a realtor, by the time they pay closing costs, by the time they wait 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months to sell. But that's part of greed. So you want to show them that they're going to gain something. Hopefully monetarily, they're going to gain some money by doing work with you. Now, the next couple are probably the strongest. Sure, nobody likes to lose something. Nobody likes, everyone wants to gain something. But they're not as powerful in my eyes. I don't think money is always what makes people sell at the prices we buy for or what gets somebody to buy a house. I think there's other things that to a lot of people are more important than money. One of the things, and this is probably, these two are the most powerful, is association. People want to know that what they're doing, everybody does. And I really, really sell this when I buy subject to. As you know, subject to is one of my favorite ways to buy houses. And I really pound on, I won't pound on, but I mention it over and over. Well, a lot of people are doing this. Like when I overcome the objection when somebody says, yeah, but is it my credit ruined if you don't make my payments? I'll tell them, well, yeah, it is. But, and a lot of people ask me that question, Mr. Seller, but if I don't go ahead and make your payments, I'm going to lose everything I've put into the house. Plus, I'm probably going to get sued by the people that I put in there that, that are renting it from me because they're looking forward to buying that home. But, Mr. Seller, it's a good question. Everybody has that question, and everybody is happy with it once they realize why I have to make the mortgage payment or what it is. You want to let them know that everybody's doing it. This is common. It's done all the time. This is a technique that we've used over and over and over again. And that's why you should have a book of endorsements, a book of testimonials. You should have a list of houses that you've bought subject to that you can show these people. Because once they see that other people have sold subject to, or however it is, if you're just trying to get an option on a property, or if you're trying to get them to give you a short sale, whatever it is, you should have a list of the other deals you've already done. And they usually don't even want to contact it. They just usually want to see it because they're afraid they're going to make a bad decision. And by you showing that to them, they kind of sense that it's real. So have a list of all the properties that you can show people that you've bought. Like on our selling site, I never just we have 6, 7, 8 houses for sale right now. But I never just list the houses that are for sale now. I always leave other houses up there that we've sold in the past, or that we've leased in the past, so they can see that we've helped other people, and that kind of makes it okay to help them. They need social proof, is basically what they're looking for. They need to know that other people have done it first to make it okay for them to do. Because they're followers. Let's face it, most people are followers. Once they know that other people have sold houses to us, subject to, or other people have given us options, or other people have done this or that, then it's okay for them to do. And it's a real powerful technique. Now the next one is also really strong. It's indifference. And this is the hardest thing to teach and the hardest thing to learn as a real estate professional. You have to act beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could care less if they sell you that house. And when you're showing the house, you have to give the impression that you don't care at all if they buy that house. Because that's really, have you ever had somebody trying to sell you something and they seem desperate? Man, when you're desperate, whew, you reek of desperate. Or whatever the word is, you reek of it. They can sense that you're desperate. They can sense you need that deal. And I know a lot of you guys are new, or you're in a jam and you go, man, I gotta sell this house, or whatever it is. Don't let the buyer know it. And when you're really looking for a deal, man, you need a deal bad, don't let the buyer know it. Act like you don't care. Your attitude should be, we look at a lot of houses every week, Mr. Seller, and we only contract the best ones, the ones that we stand to make the best profit on. I mean, we're a business. We're not moving in. We have to be able to have a good profit spread. And you know how the market is right now, Mr. Seller. It's kind of tough out there. And lots of people are giving us offers that, man, a year ago we would have jumped at, but we just can't do it right now. So we only pick and choose the best. That's the attitude that you want to have. Same thing when you're selling a house. Well, Mr. Buyer, at this price, we know the house is going to sell. I mean, it's $60,000 under value. We could probably add $20,000 or $30,000 to it, or we could probably do an auction and get almost full price. But we just rather forego all that, and we'll let you have it at this if you want it. Take it or leave it. I use that line all the time. If you want it, take it or leave it. And I know a lot of people tell you to say everything positively when you buy this house, but I really want to stress to people that I don't care if they buy from me, and I don't care if they sell me their house. That's really, the whole attitude has to be, we're buying houses from everybody. They're all selling them to us cheap. They're giving them to us. They're signing them over to us. Man, it's unbelievable how many people are selling us houses cheap, and everybody's buying them. We got a list of people waiting to buy these houses from us, Mr. Buyer. So you give the attitude that it's a good price, they're saving money for working with you, everybody wants to buy from you, but if you don't, the next guy will. And that's really the trick. And it's hard to get that. Like I said before, it's really hard to get that attitude because you're burning to do a deal. I know you new guys out there, you want a deal yesterday. But you got to learn to relax, just relax. That indifference really, really, really is what's going to sell people. When they don't feel you need them, that's when they want to work with you. That's when they're going to want to buy or want to sell to you. Remember this, and this sums it all up. If you can remember this, when you're talking to sellers, they should be selling you. You want to create an atmosphere where they're talking you into buying their house. You're not there to sell them. You're not selling anything. You're the buyer. You're the guy with the money in the pocket, right? You're the guy that's going to save them. You're riding in on your horse. You're riding in on your big white horse, and you're going to take off that white hat, bow low, and get them out of their problems. Make sure that they know that. Make sure that they know you're the hero. They're trying to sell you. Let them do all the talking. Let them talk you into making them an offer. That's when you're going to have control of the situation and when you're going to get your deals done. Same thing when you're selling. Make those people convince you to sell them that house at that price. Stick to your guns. Say no. Don't be afraid to say no, and listen a lot. That's so many. There's a saying. Samson slew 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass. Every day, dozens of deals are killed with the same weapon. I liked it. But in any case, act indifferent. Have a sense of urgency. That's the other one. Move quick. Tell them, this is going to go fast. So basically, if you let them know they're saving or making money by working with you, this is all happening pretty quick. If you don't get it, somebody else is gonna. Lots of people are in line to do business with us. And if you take it, that's fine. If not, somebody else will. If you can learn to give that attitude, stay professional, and ask for the sale. Hand them that contract. Ask for that down payment. That type of thing. Be in control. You'll do fine. You'll do really fine. Desperation is your enemy. Perspiration is not your friend. I don't even know why I said that. I was looking for something that rhymed with desperation, but you know me. So, anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this episode. I hope you learned something from this. Now go make an offer.